many people go just with this impression that, oh, because the universe is so vast, look at human beings, they're so pathetic. What kind of stupid, idiotic thing is that?
Yeah.
Consider of all things that exist in the universe, of course the human being is the most magnificent part of creation.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, the most beautiful place I can think of on planet Earth that I've personally been to is Lake Louise in Canada. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Lake Louise in Canada is breathtaking. That's a word that's overused, but it's breathtaking. There's nothing else to say. You just go there and you just stare at it. And you say, oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay? So, would the beauty of Lake Louise exist if there was no human mind to take in and relish that beauty? Okay, it's like the old thing, oh, you know, if a tree falls in a forest and nobody hears it, does it actually make a sound? You know what? Frankly, no, it doesn't. Okay? If there's nobody there to take in that beauty, then that beauty is essentially meaningless. Okay? No. The human consciousness that is able to take in the beauty of Lake Louise is superior, by all objective standard, than Lake Louise itself.
Yeah.
Okay? The human being is the epitome of God's creation. Okay? And yeah, when you're at a McDonald's or at a gas station where I used to work, and I have a customer come in, dude, that's a freaking human being, and smile at that human being and be polite to that human being, because that is the most amazing part of creation that you will ever witness, a human being.
My fellow human beings, how you doing? Welcome to the Worldview Bros. It's been a little while. It's been about a week. Yeah. Right, Jim?
Yeah. Plus, I don't know.
You could always catch us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, on Instagram. Check out our YouTube. We got our video series that we really started off on, and we'll always have our podcasts on there as well. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, and whatnot. I'm Sal. This is my brother, a.k.a. Jimmy Coco Buff, a.k.a. Jimbo Slice, a.k.a. the Adukinator. I like that one. Yeah. A.k.a. Brogo Baggins, a.k.a. Butterbeard, a.k.a. Slim Jim. What am I missing? Oh, Jim.
Oh, man. No, that's a good job, Sal. Yeah. I think you just forgot, like,
a little while.
I think you forgot beginning of the school year, Jim.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
My gosh.
Dude.
Speaking of the beginning of the school year, man, both of us, like, guys, we talked about, like, Jim and I talked about before starting to recording, how, this is kind of a new territory for us. We started the show at tail end of us teachers, tail end of our teaching year last year. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of like, we were already in a groove, and we're like, yeah, we can fit this into our schedule.
Yeah.
It's fine. And now it's like crunch time. Just beginning of the year as a teacher is pretty hard.
Yeah. I mean, we don't like to get too much into detail about like everything we do in class and stuff like that. Right. It's like this is like our separate world from there. But
Or
dude,
get away.
yeah. But I mean, I love the profession of teaching. Like,
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it. But dude, there aren't so many other jobs out there where you're putting in like 12-hour days, 13-hour days, and you don't get, I don't know, rewarded in some fashion.
Yeah.
Monetarily, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, it goes with the territory. That's what you do. And
Right.
I love it. But, dude, it's been, I don't know. I don't want to whine here. But,
Yeah, no, I
dude,
feel you. Same for me. It's
There's
been
a lot.
pretty
There are a
difficult.
lot of changes this
especially
year.
with me. I've had a new job, just kind of settling in with
Right.
the flow of things.
Dude, and
know?
you're going to 2 schools. You go to the
Yeah.
middle school, and then you go to the high school.
Yeah, so that's been
You
an
lose
adjustment.
time, and obviously in the, I mean, driving.
And it's not like I have like a long drive or anything to like kind of.
Is that like during your lunch or something? Or?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
So you just eat in the
There's
car?
been
What
days
the hell?
there's been days where I haven't eaten lunch. And it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
it's all good. I mean,
first world problems.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So today on our show, guys, Jim and I thought, hey, we're just gonna chat. We're gonna see where we go with this, right?
Yeah.
That's a great thing to say at the beginning of a podcast, right?
Right.
But let me remind y'all to send emails. Some of your emails might be, hey, what's going on? What's the future for you? Send those emails at theworldviewbros@gmail.com. And again, if you have something you want to hear or just a question, maybe you're a first time listener and you go back and listen to some of our shows, our videos, our podcasts, and you want to chime in on something, a question. We love that. We've done one mailbag episode, and that was really cool.
Yeah. Look at our series. Like we do the big questions in life. What is human nature? Questions about happiness. What is happiness? One of the ultimates, like the existence of God. All these things. All these questions are fair game. We want you guys to check it out. Send us an email with questions. Also, guys, please leave us a review on iTunes. Yeah, so, if you feel so inclined, a 5-star, 4-star, or, maybe you want to be more
Don't
truthful.
give us a 1 or 2 star. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
If you want to be, I'm going to be truthful, and tell these guys how I really feel about them, just keep that to yourself. I mean, come on. Don't be a jerk. So give us a good review. Come on. That's how we can get our name out a little bit, get a little more viewers. So, anyway.
So, Jim, you recently went to Mexico.
Yes.
Right? Why don't you tell us a little bit about how that went?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that was last weekend. It was the wedding of a good friend of mine. And, it was just kind of the weekend. I took Friday off, left Thursday, and I had a blast. I always look forward to going back, especially for eating some tacos,
Yeah, dude, how was that?
I'm not going to lie, it was magical, dude.
Like, was it a thing where you got there and you just got tacos and you didn't think about it, or is it like, oh, here comes the tacos? Like,
no.
Come and you had the taco.
My buddy who picked me up, like, he knew. Like, I mean, that night we were at a taco stand. Right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, it has to be like a out in the street taco stand.
Yeah.
He knows a few places that are great.
Yeah.
And they were great.
Yeah.
You got your.
I mean, there's some places not necessarily street, but kind of hole in the wall too, and there's some good ones.
No, definitely.
I know that I'm just my memory of going back and going to some of those places.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you about these tacos like all this show long. I mean, it's difficult to find tortillas that are just perfect, like in Mexico. I mean, I don't know what it is. Like, what the heck? I mean, some kind of a union thing. I don't know what's going on, but you can't find tortillas that are actually good.
Yeah.
You can find some better than others, and you make do. Like, I usually don't even have corn tortilla tacos around here because it's so terrible. I just go with flour because you can't mess that up too badly. I mean,
and then you end up just like feeling like a failure because you're not eating tacos the right way.
I know. So
you're having like flour tacos with like the people like to put so many crazy things on tacos here.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, those kinds of tacos, if my mindset is like, I'm going to have a taco like that, it's good.
No, of course.
right?
We've talked about that. Like Torchy's, they do a great job. They're just not Mexican tacos.
Yeah, no,
So.
exactly. So it's, but I don't know. It's like, I feel like I'm that way with a lot of things. Or like, for instance, when same topic, right? If I'm going to eat Tex-Mex food, I'm perfectly okay with it. There's some really good Tex-Mex stuff. Like if I'm going to go to a restaurant like Chewy's, I prepare my brain. Like, I prepare my mind. I'm like, this is what I'm getting. I'm not going to get authentic Mexican food.
No.
That's crazy. That's stupid.
Of course.
Right?
Hey, you even kind of prepare your mind to go to Taco Bell. Nothing wrong with Taco
exactly.
Bell.
But once you get people start saying like, "Oh, this is like really good Mexican food," and I'm like, no. So, but if I'm going to go to a place, so that's why when people say like this is an authentic Mexican food place, like, hey, don't play with my heart.
Your radar goes up. Yeah.
Because I prepare myself.
Yeah.
And then I eat, and
that's
when there's a problem.
And then it's a letdown.
Yeah, and then you're like, what the crap? This is terrible. Like, when in reality, if I would have known what it was and prepared myself for it, probably would have been fine.
Yep.
Maybe I sound a little
no, you're
here, but
completely on point there, my brother. But no, don't get me wrong. I mean, I didn't go just for the tacos. What kind of a human being do you think I am? Come on.
It's only like 40%, right?
No, it was pretty great.
You were at a wedding, though, right? Yeah.
Dude,
gosh, weddings can be.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun, but at the same time, it depends what, I mean, you're kind of removed a little bit. I mean, a lot of it, you know. And so.
No, the party was intense. I mean, so the wedding was Saturday at 7, the wedding ceremony, 7 o'clock. You already know you're in for trouble when the ceremony is at 7 p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, we go to the
Holy
reception.
Cow, dude. Yeah, I'm just like.
We go to the reception from there. It's like, oh yeah, it's time for dinner. It's a perfectly good time at 9:45 p.m. Let's have some dinner now. Dinner was great. Good dessert and stuff. But yeah, I made it back to my buddy's place at 6:30 a.m. on Sunday. 6:30 a.m.
A.M.
Yeah, and
for those of you listening, A.M.
Right. And yeah, I don't know. I had like 2.5 hours, 3 hours of sleep before I had to go to the airport, fly back home. But no, dude, it was great.
How long is that flight? It was like 4 hours.
Oh no, it was just 2 hours.
2 hours. Oh, wow.
2 hours 10 minutes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, later after the meal, I was able to go mingle with my friends, but. I mean, I hope nobody's listening who's at the table. But like you're seated at the table.
They're all listening.
You're a friend. Dude, like, I mean, I didn't know anybody here. And,
that's painful.
Dora didn't come with me. It was just me.
Yeah, dude.
So here I am. It's like they pretty much like they see me coming. They're like, oh, great. Here's a guy who's just on his own. And we don't know
what a
him.
Loser.
How is he going to fit into this conversation? We had this thing going. Whoever was at the table at the moment, So anyway, I get there. Sorry, guys. I didn't actually say that, but yeah, it was pretty. Have you been in a situation like that?
No, I have. I'm trying to think specifically right now if I could like tell a story about it, but
I mean, we're all polite human beings. Like we got some pleasantries out of the way, but it was difficult to get through the whole meal. Yeah,
like actually, like I can think of like, just times, for instance, like like I remember like when Nicole and I were dating, and maybe I'd go visit her, and she had like maybe like a school I think for her school. I don't remember one specific one where I don't even remember what it was for, honestly.
Yeah.
And she was busy doing things, right? Or kind of preparing for it, whatever, and it just was like brutal. Like you're walking around, and I'm not part of the school. I'm not part of anything. I'm just the dude dating that girl there.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And so you're just like in that position of like, oh, hey, yo, how about the drinks? It's pretty good.
Why do we do this as a society, Sal?
Like,
why can't we just be? I don't know.
I mean, like and I'm not like that all the time. It's like sometimes if I feel like I'm like I feel it, like I can be pretty good at the small talk, and then but here's the thing, it's like, am I willing right now to invest time with this person right now,
right, and
get into a conversation that
we might never see each other again?
Yeah. And it's like, you're gonna start telling me about your life. I'm like, I'm not gonna see you again. Sometimes I'm like, sure, why not? Right. Whatever, right? Yeah. What if
sometimes you even open up even more for that reason? Yeah, like you're using that person as like your own personal like psychologist or something. I mean, lay this out for you. I feel like I've done that before.
Yeah. So this was not the case for you at this wedding.
No. Dude, it's so bad. So like, okay, we eat the dessert and everything. Once the first dance happens, right? Yeah. You're able to you kind of casually get out of the table, kind of start bouncing a little bit to the music. Yeah. And everybody starts slowly getting away from their tables and mingling with the rest of the population, right? Uh-huh. Yeah. But here's the thing. Okay, so imagine, right? We had this thing going on before, and then later on, like 3 hours later, you accidentally bump into one of those people, and then you're just like, oh hey, I know you. How about the party? Oh gosh. And I kid you not, like as we had this encounter, you could see like in the back of their eyes mutually. There's probably mutually like, why did you cross paths with me?
Exactly.
I don't want to see you ever again.
And you know what here's the worst move. Uh-huh. When maybe not necessarily you see them again, but just any encounter. Okay, that's like small talk, right? Or just like how's it going for you? This happens at work for me. Sure. Like an assistant principal comes to me and talks, and they're nice people. It's not that I don't want to talk to them. Right? Yeah. But they'll come and it's like, how's it going for you? Oh, it's going well. What'd you do this weekend? Oh, that's nice. Yeah. And then here's the killer. The killer one. It's like I'm in the middle of maybe doing my duty or doing something, and I have to like, you just start to like kind of. One of you, like, you have to decide who's going to be the one who's going to kind of start to back away and go do something. Oh, yeah. Like, that one kills me. Because you're like, I don't want them to feel like I'm getting away from them. And I'm like, okay, I'm done with you. See you later.
Dude, Sal, you realize we're never going to be able to do small talk with people who listen to this ever again. Like, we're going to be like, oh, how's the weather? They're going to be like, screw you, man.
I hate you. I mean, like, I that one is excruciating. It really is. Like, and it happens even with me with students, especially. But the thing with students, though, sometimes, like, they're perfectly fine with just standing there for like 20 minutes, and you're just like,
yeah, I don't know, what is it? They haven't really caught on to the nuances of like awkwardness. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's a perennial problem that we must soldier on with. I don't know. Oh man.
I mean, I don't know what. Why is it that way? I know, like, specifically, like, we both have similar kind of that's pretty.
Well, I
like,
mean,
we have that in common with certain things.
Yeah. I don't know. There must be a better way to do it. Maybe it just means being more open. Being a more open person. I mean, there are people who, like, have no issues with that. Like, they're kind of comfortable, and you admire those people. Those people who are very comfortable, and, they can do small talk, but they can just as easily go into, oh, no, I have this going on, and, blah, blah, blah. And
well, see, that's where I feel like I'm a hybrid, like, because sometimes I can be that way, but it just really depends. Like, maybe it's a thing of, like, I'm with somebody, I look at somebody, and this is besides, like, it just, I don't know, it depends on the setting. But if it's a completely new setting, right, I've never been there, I don't know these people at all.
Right.
it's like it's kind of just like up in the air. I might be in a place where like I'm like, oh, a lot of these people are pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
let's just talk.
No,
you know,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
open to do that. But then like sometimes I'll be in an area where I'm like, I would not hang out with these people. Like, like I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I don't really feel like it.
Right.
So then it's awkward.
I get it. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it, too, is, like, I would blame myself for not handling the situation correctly. Very, very often, it's simply because I'm too friggin' self-absorbed in whatever I'm doing, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas if I kind of actually took the time to delve a little bit deeper, try to figure out more about the person, that I would genuinely be more interested. Like, just try to... I don't know. It's a new person. Maybe there's a reason. Who knows? Maybe you can become friends or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like trying to suss out the person a little bit, see what might be interesting about them. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I really think it's that. Like very often I'm just like going into it. I've predetermined that I can't really waste my time or something like that, or don't want to get too involved or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's one of those things where it's how you interact with society. It's that little glue. I don't know. It's the little glue of how society works. We have to have some kind of a pleasantry.
Yeah.
I don't knock it. I don't knock it as something that has to be done away with. Like by all means, if you have nothing better to do, smile, be polite, and talk about the weather. It's good for society.
Yeah.
It's glue for society.
And I feel like we're kind of onto something here, just talking about how to be in society and how to like act as people around each other.
Yeah.
And
civilized human beings.
it really bugs me when at any kind of public
area or
like
I
I guess mainly I'm thinking of like service,
Okay.
and it just really, really bugs me when I understand that people have bad days, and if I worked at if I was like in my 30s and I worked at a fast food restaurant, I don't know if I would be the happiest person.
Right.
Or maybe you are, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like you work somewhere, you work at this place, like the least you could do is like have a smile and treat people right?
Yeah.
And
independently by how much you're paid. I mean, it's like you kind of owe it to society to be pleasant, I think. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not saying like to just be like you have to be like overly nice and just like treat me like a king or anything. But it's like I don't know what's going on with you, and so I don't really deserve like an attitude from somebody or you don't even have to really smile. It's just kind of like, oh, how you doing? Or just like I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No, and dude, let me pause.
At least feel like kind of friendly,
Yeah, I would say this too, that it goes both ways. Like very often, it's really the reverse. It's the freaking customer that has the attitude,
Yeah,
and the person doing service is like, oh my gosh, the customer's always right, I guess. It's not about that. It's not about whatever the service is or anything. No. You owe it to every other human being to at least give them a polite treatment.
Yeah.
Like,
well, why would you say we owe it to human beings? Like my first thought, I go to like maybe like because we should show respect to people.
Of course.
But why do we have to show respect to people?
Oh, dude, because okay, well, you want me to go deep? Let's go deep. Like,
I'm just kind of I'm just talking.
No, of course, dude, because human beings are like the epitome of creation.
Yeah.
Seriously, No, seriously. Like one thing that is like constantly on my mind, the thing that you hear about from a lot of I don't know, like popular scientists or scientists who are I don't know, they popularize science. The idea that human beings look at human beings. We're just like a little speck in the universe. Look at how vast the universe is. Look at how many stars exist in the universe that we can observe. We're like crap compared to that. Oh, we're just pitiful little human beings. Dude, that's like the stupidest thing ever. I mean, it's I can't remember who like figured this out, or we can do the math or something like that. But let's look up how many stars are estimated to be in the observable universe. How many stars exist in the observable universe? It's an insane number, right? It's like billions upon billions upon billions of stars. Okay? Well, the number of atoms...
They're all kings. Watching this. Sorry.
No, balls of gas burning billions of miles away. No, dude. The number of atoms that exist in one grain of sand. There are more atoms that exist in one grain of sand than the number of stars that exist in the observable universe.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I'm kind of going... I have to double check that. I'm just going off my head. But it's something like that. Like, it's insane the amount of atoms that you're going to have in a freaking grain of sand. Okay?
Yeah.
So my question is, what is more astounding? The vastness of the innumerable stars that exist in the observable universe, or the vast minuteness of the freaking atoms that exist in a grain of sand? So my question to you is, what is more magnificent? What is more astounding? I don't know. They're both pretty freaking astounding, you know? So I feel like so many people go just with this impression that, because the universe is so vast, look at human beings, they're so pathetic. What kind of stupid, idiotic thing is that?
Yeah.
Consider of all things that exist in the universe, of course the human being is the most magnificent part of creation.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, the most beautiful place I can think of on planet Earth that I've personally been to is Lake Louise in Canada. Okay? Lake Louise in Canada is breathtaking. That's a word that's overused, but it's breathtaking. There's nothing else to say. You just go there and you just stare at it, and you say, oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay? So, would the beauty of Lake Louise exist if there was no human mind to take in and relish that beauty? Okay, it's like the old thing. If a tree falls in a forest and nobody hears it, does it actually make a sound? You know what? Frankly, no, it doesn't. Okay, if there's nobody there to take in that beauty, then that beauty is essentially meaningless. Okay. No. The human consciousness that is able to take in the beauty of Lake Louise is superior by all objective standard than Lake Louise itself.
Yeah.
Okay? The human being is the epitome of God's creation. Okay? And when you're at a McDonald's or at a gas station where I used to work, and I have a customer come in, dude, that's a freaking human being, and smile at that human being and be polite to that human being, because that is the most amazing part of creation that you will ever witness, a human being.
Wow. See, I like that approach. Because my first approach, which is, I actually wanted to ask you, like, what you thought, like, because for me, like, I think, okay, well, God tells us to love other people, so I'm gonna love other people because He told us to, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And or maybe it goes even deeper to, how could I witness to somebody? Yeah. If I'm a believer, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna treat other people with kindness because that's what Christ did, and that's what we're called to do. Yeah.
So you're saying, hey, it's a duty.
But I like to take kind of the angle you take from it, right. If we just dumb it down even more, we are made in this. We are ourselves, as creatures, very vast and beautiful, right? And so when you like you said with the lake or whatever, with nature, you take that time to be like, wow, this is awesome. So I'm going to treat it with the
respect,
with the utmost respect and enjoy, right?
Enjoy it, yeah.
Like, you get an animal, you get a dog, and you're like, oh, what a beautiful dog.
Enjoy that beautiful dog. That's right, yeah.
Right? And, okay, people aren't the most pleasant. They're not dogs. They're not creation. They're not mountains or beaches or whatever. I understand that. But at the same time, if you look, I like looking at it in the sense of, like, wow, we were all created, and we have a consciousness. We can make decisions. we can be really talented at music, really smart at this. You can be really good at making an awesome Starbucks coffee. I don't know,
No,
it's like, and I know that sounds like really silly, but I like that. I like the approach of like, okay, we are all created, and that's by a creator, and the things we can do, just our bodies, like it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
So we need to respect each other just for that reason.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I think there's also the approach of like, we need to respect each other, because if we didn't respect each other, I mean, we're all selfish people and we know that, right? Then we would be like heathens.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a good society, you want to be safe.
You have to go against the current. You have to go against the current of your baser nature.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Is to,
or
which
else
is to,
we would not be happy.
I know, which is to be a recluse and, don't talk to me. No, I'm just not going to engage with people. No,
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do very often. And it's an impulse that we should fight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, like, I mean, the way you say that it when you delve into it, like, just, I don't know, just the mechanics of the human body, the mechanics of the human mind are mind-boggling, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I use an example in my physics class. Like, I like to tell my students that a lot of what we learn in physics, it's really just bringing to the forefront something that your brain has already figured out. You know? Like, I have a lesson on impulse and momentum. And I say the truth about this. Like, I tell my students, like, you guys already know everything that you need to know about impulse and momentum. Your brain already knows it perfectly well. You just may not be aware that your brain has figured it out perfectly well.
Yeah.
So, like, the example is if you throw an egg up in the air. Like, so let's do this mental experiment, Sal. So everybody listening, let's go to my classroom a little bit. If you've ever watched Sherlock, I want you guys to go into your mind palace right now. So go into your mind palace and imagine that you throw an egg up into the air, and then you're going to catch it.
Yeah.
So when you catch the egg, are you going to catch the egg like with a stiff arm? You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes up and comes down. Or are you going to catch it like this, like just stiff arm?
Right. No.
Let that egg hit your hand? No, what's going to happen?
It's going to break.
The egg's going to break, exactly. So when you throw the egg up in the air, and when you catch it, you're going to do one of these deals, like, whoa, like.
Yeah, you kind of come down with it.
You kind of come down with the egg, right? And you don't even think twice about it, but your brain already figured it out, And basically that's the whole rationale about the impulse momentum theorem, that if you apply a force on an object for an extended period of time, then you can do so with less force. And so less force, but over a larger period of time, will bring the egg to a stop, as opposed to a small period of time, but a large force will also bring the egg to a stop. Yeah. But that would maximize the force and therefore break the egg. So anyway, just little things like that. Like, the way our brain operates is just ridiculously incredible. Like, I know there's a whole thing about artificial intelligence, whatever you like, dude. I'm really skeptical. Yeah, I really don't think so. Absolutely. Yeah. And even if it were to get kind of close, well, who created those supercomputers? Human beings. Mm-hmm. So there's so many aspects of our very own bodies that are still kind of like a mystery to us. And of course, that's one of the big questions in life. Like, who am I? Like, a lot of myself is kind of a mystery to me. Mm-hmm. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, one thing that I really believe to be true, like, one of the biblical teachings is that, in the resurrection, the Bible says that we will be given new names, that we will be given restored bodies, that all evil will be mended, and all incongruity between our consciousness and our physical body, like all incongruity between our will and what we actually do, will be in perfect balance. So I can't wait, thinking of the future life where, at the end of days, that we kind of have this restoration between just the little inaccuracy, the imbalance that we do have between our will and our actions.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that the feeling of like finally, because there is this sense of it's a beautiful thing, but at the same time it's a struggle, right? To have to choose against impulses or temptations that are not right, you know? So it's a battle, but when you choose not to, it can be something really beautiful. Yeah. But it's very, very taxing.
Absolutely, that's right. That's part of the issue of the human condition.
And so the thought of like being rid of that is actually a really, really cool thing. A really cool feel, like just an exciting thing to look forward to. Right.
Absolutely.
And but I was actually going to kind of lead into, as far as when it comes to us and in society, and the way we are around people and why it matters. It kind of makes me think about family, you know, the people you choose. And we talked about, you know, like investing in people that maybe you won't see again. Right.
Yeah.
So so for me, I'm thinking, okay, well, what's the purpose in investing in people, especially people that you know are you going to see all the time, like your family, right? And then friends that you end up making, because with friends, it's like, okay, you choose to, you're doing, I mean, you could be doing things that are entertaining, right? And then you just both like things that you both like, similar things, you know, and then things maybe get deeper because you've spent time together, right?
Right.
Unlike with family, it's like you're around, like you have those, I mean, even like a blood connection, right?
Right. Yeah.
And it's you maybe don't necessarily invest as much in it, but it's almost like, you know, you have this this feeling of obligation, like I really should invest in this relationship.
Yeah.
And you know, and to me, I started thinking, well, why does that matter? Right? Why does that matter? How do we apply that to, like, it's important that we respect others outside of our family and friends and stuff, but then or just human beings in general. And then why does it matter to have family and have those close connections, right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
how does that fit into the equation of it's beautiful, right? It's like
dang. Yeah, no, that's a big question.
I just want one of your thoughts. I mean, I can give you my thoughts too on it.
Yeah, so like, to clarify, you're saying, hey, why not, maybe I misunderstood. Are you saying, hey, why not just kind of stick with my family and my close connection, and I'm good with that? Like,
or vice versa.
Or
vice versa. Why do I need family? Why do I need friends? Yeah. Right? If I treat everybody right, and you know, I treat everyone with
family,
respect.
Maybe my family is my neighbor or something like that. Is what
yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Dang. So it's like, I think both ways. Like, it's like, well, why not just stick with family? Or why do I have to have family? Like, or why is that important? You know?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess my thoughts, just kind of going off of it, I think it's definitely like an ideal that I try to make family, if you will, out of everybody. That is to say, I mean, try to make the most of any connections that you can have. Like we said, I mean, every human being is incredibly valuable. I think like this whole thing can go into like a discussion of what friendship is for. Like you know, Aristotle talks a lot about this, how, you know, you have different kinds of friendships. As it stands, though, like, sometimes maybe you can't really help it that maybe some people are not really ready for kind of like a deep friendship. Yeah. And by a deep friendship, I mean a friendship where what's in as a goal is the good ultimately, like really focused in on, you know, looking higher up, looking higher beyond yourself. Like Aristotle says that they're friendships of just pleasure. Like you were saying, like, oh, you know, maybe I have some friends and we have mutual interests, so of course we hang out because, we go bowling every Thursday. Yeah. Okay, well, what is this friendship really all about? Maybe it's really all about just going bowling every Thursday. And what Aristotle says is, look, there's nothing wrong about that. Like, okay, maybe you have some friends and it's really just your bowling friends. And what the hell? I mean, you just like and you like bowling, you know. But he says, okay, but watch out, you know, look out for the friendships that are going to be very special. And the most beautiful friendships are the ones where you're seeking out the beautiful, that you're seeking
Yeah.
out the good, that you're
Exactly.
seeking like mutual improvement, for instance, that you're seeking out
That's a good one.
excellence, and ultimately that you're kind of seeking out the source of all goodness, the source of all excellence, the source of all beauty.
Yeah.
You know, we're kind of just hijacking Aristotle's categories here and saying, you know, like ultimately the best friendships are ones where you're pursuing God most of all. You know,
Yeah.
this is why affiliation in your local church is, I think, incredibly important. You know, because there you have your friends who are searching God, friends who are searching, you know, all of truth. Now, how that relates to family, I would say, well, yeah, I don't know. I think that you're put in your family that you have a position of special obligation
Yeah.
to bring your family to a point where you are looking out for the most beautiful things in life.
Yeah.
You know, if your family is in a place where you're not really focused on the most excellent parts of life, then it's your duty to kind of bring it up, you know. Maybe it's not your special duty to, you know, go to your neighbor and in particular to, I don't know, to try to have a beautiful friendship with him like Aristotle would say. But I feel like maybe it's more of your obligation, certainly with your family connections, I suppose. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking off the top of my head a little bit here. But,
Yeah. No,
so-
and I think another thing too, going back to how I talked about, well, I treat others with respect and you know, I seek the beautiful things in life because God tells us to, right? Well, I have family and I make connections with people. I have relationships with people, and I am vulnerable with people.
Yeah.
And help people because I'm asked to do that by God,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Sure.
So it's like I think I mean I'm perfectly fine with people looking at it that way. Sometimes I look at it that way. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm asked. That's what we're asked to do. That's what we're called to do. So I'll do it, right?
Right.
But I also do think, just like with the other topic, I think with this there is kind of like a, I don't want to say formulaic kind of answer, but like I think there's also not necessarily just out of duty and obligation, but there's also kind of looking at it in the sense of like, okay, well, this like you said, it's really beautiful, right? And it gives me a chance to better myself, right?
Yeah.
And I think of something I remember, like growing up, like Pop saying to us, you know, it's like, and it stuck with me, you know, don't be with friends with people that are going to bring you down. Don't be around people that are going to make you worse.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to spend time with somebody and invest. I talk about investing so much because I love that imagery of investing your time, your feelings, your emotions, your whatever in somebody.
Your life.
You know, and you want that somebody to be somebody who's going to make you better, right, and lift you up.
Of course.
Because or otherwise, I mean, you're just. I mean, if you're making yourself worse, I mean, it's you're not going to be happy, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like, there's a sense of duty and obligation to having those relationships and having family and having good friends, close friends. But there's also just a beauty to it, and I think that's the common kind of point that we're making here, and what we've been talking about.
Yeah. No.
You know?
No, you're right.
And beauty, aka goodness, aka
It's all connected.
God, right?
Yep, that's right.
And creation itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's all this like counterbalance to the imperfectness, right? To the fallenness, right?
Yeah.
so I think other people, and we lift each other, you know, and we support each other and we help each other, because there's this counterbalance to I can't do it alone, right? I can't do it all on my own, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's cool. I think for us too, like I think of me and you as brothers, like it's been maybe almost the whole 2 weeks since we've like really gotten to talk like this.
I know.
And I feel that void.
Yeah.
Of like, dang, like, we got to get together, you know, because like there's a fuel to it, right?
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And when you've invested that time in people, it's become a part of what keeps you going in a sense, right?
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, the ultimate investment is in God, is in spending time with Him, right?
Right.
And prayer and Thanksgiving and all that, right? But I mean, you're also doing that. The cool thing is that you're also doing that with people. Like
Right.
He's in that as well, right?
Yeah.
There's different forms of it,
Mm.
and so when you go without it for a while, you feel the kind of the void.
Oh no, for sure.
I feel like I kind of got off on
No,
tangents,
dude,
but
that's awesome. I mean, that's you got me thinking. I mean, like one thing that occurs to me, and it's midnight on a Wednesday. We'll probably close here pretty soon. I mean, this freaking busy lives, dude.
I know. It's crazy.
No. But what I was thinking, as you were saying that too, I think it's also important not to look at human interaction as simply what am I going to get out of it, or how is it going to be? How is it going to bring me up? Like how is it going to be fulfilling to me? So there are a couple of things here that are true that I think are important for us to take away from this. Just as you enjoy spending time with a little puppy, and you should, they're beautiful, okay? Just as you enjoy spending time out in nature and enjoying it, and you should, it's beautiful. Of course, every human being in your acquaintance, you should realize, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful human being. Absolutely, okay? But it's also true that this is a fallen world. And just as with other human beings, they can bring us these incredible highs, and they can be, there can be moments of true beauty and moments of bliss. Dude, just as with human beings, they can be so positive, so also they can be freaking terrible, right?
Yeah.
And very often, I think the whole thing about being in a family is that you're put in a position where you have obligations, and it's not just about you. It's not just about what's going to be fulfilling to you. You know, like this person in your family like needs a lot of your attention, and you need to bring them up to a higher place or whatever you need to do for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it may not seem something that's very fulfilling to you. I guess what I'm trying to drive at is the way that God has kind of made the economy of things is that it's not by searching your own happiness that you find your happiness. It's usually by seeking out the happiness of others. It's usually by trying to bring other people up. Try to bring everybody in your acquaintance up. And suddenly you look down and you're in a pinnacle, because that's how you lift up yourself. Not by necessarily trying to lift yourself up, but by serving, by being a servant, by serving your family, by trying to do, if whatever evils, whatever pains, whatever sufferings are going on in your family, lift your family up. And by not trying to, you lift yourself up. I think that I know that's something that, God has taught us that is absolutely true. One of those questions, like, going back to our series on happiness, that's one of like the core truths that we need to grab onto. Seek the happiness of others and you'll find it for yourself.
I mean, like, and that's the biggest. I mean, like, I think of marriage too. I mean, like, if you want to be in a healthy marriage that's gonna last, I mean, you have to be thinking, how am I gonna serve this person? How am I gonna seek happiness of theirs? You're not gonna be perfect at it. It's not gonna happen all the time because we're selfish at times, but I'm bringing that up because actually Nicole and I, we really like the series that we listened to a while ago. It's kind of more of a practical series called Laugh Your Way Through a Better Marriage. and it sounds very like therapeutic,
Mm-hmm.
and in a way it is. But
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to listen to it again. We've been listening to it the last few days, and he's a little intense, and he's a really funny guy. His name's Mark Gungor,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it gets a little like he talks about like sex and stuff like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, important things.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like inappropriate or anything.
No,
you
no,
know?
no.
It's just really important, fundamental things about a marriage, and how, and the first that he opens the whole thing by saying that's the first thing he says is if you want to be in a successful and good, healthy marriage, you have to be seeking what's best for the other person or the happiness of the other person.
Yep.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because if you go into a marriage thinking, what am I going to get out of it? It's not going to last
No.
whatsoever, because you know you're either giving or you're taking.
Yep.
You know, and if you're only doing one of those two things and the other's doing the other,
Yeah.
you're going to crash and burn,
That's right.
right? Because one's going to feel like, oh, I've been giving, I can't give anymore, and the other's like, oh, this is great, I've been taking, you know, and you know, and then you're wondering why your marriage is falling apart.
No.
You know, or you're both taking and no one's really giving, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I just thought
that's cool.
I was doubling down kind of
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
on the happiness of seeking the happiness of others.
Yeah.
I think that's super important.
Wow, dude, I really don't know how we got here after talking about tacos and just an awkward conversation at a wedding.
Awkward human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, I think of like what the purpose is of our podcast and what we want people to know is, you know, how to seek truth and part of seeking truth is seeking beauty, and we seek beauty in each other, you know, and when we're in conversations with people and we're investing with people, I think part of it, what you're looking for is truth, even in people that you disagree with.
Yep.
And that's something I
yeah.
try to challenge myself on. You know, when I'm around people that clearly don't think like me or don't believe in things that I believe in, I try to seek that truth. I'm not perfect at it, and you know, but it's what we want to encourage everyone who's listening who's listening to this for them to do, right? And part of it is smiling at the people that are serving you, you know, or you know, making sure you treat people that maybe you'll see only one time with dignity, because we deserve that.
I think coffee is very helpful, you know? Have some coffee. I don't know.
That's what I'm going to need tomorrow morning. Or
put
this morning.
Put a little something in the coffee. I don't know. Whatever. a little good drink, you know?
Anyways, I think that's a wrap for us, right, Jim?
Yeah, you ready for school tomorrow? What, 6 a.m.?
Oh, yeah, man.
No, what time are you getting up?
No, dude. I my alarm is set for 5:15.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if that's going to happen this morning.
No.
We'll see. This morning, right? We're already like in the AM.
Yeah, I'll get up at
We'll
6,
see.
I guess.
Yeah, when am I gonna see you in the gym again, Jim?
Next week, dude.
Next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll go Friday.
Friday?
Yeah, I think I got out of this cold. I'm good. I'm good for some laps or whatever. I don't know. I'll do something.
Awesome.
I'll get back in the wagon.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Worldview Bros. Make sure if you like what you hear to rate us, give us a 5-star rating. 5-star rating. Okay.
Go on iTunes. Rate us. Please.
Yeah. And share with your family. Share with those people. Maybe you have an awkward encounter with somebody. And you're like, hey, have you heard of this show? And share it with them. You know.
They're gonna explain it at you.
Yeah. Maybe don't show them this episode right away, because maybe they'll assume that you're getting on. Yeah. They're trying to send a message there.
Yeah. What's our best series, Sal?
I don't know. That's rough to say.
Okay.
I feel like we were really rolling on the existence of God.
Yeah.
That was good.
It was good. Yeah, we got into some good stuff.
And
there.
then, I mean, they're all good. I mean, they're all good.
Yeah.
Right, but as far as like, I feel like we really hit some good points on. I would say happiness too. We spent a lot of good time, like really preparing that. So
we need ideas for our next series.
Yeah.
What are we gonna
Yeah.
get into next?
Send us some emails. If you have ideas, and we'll mull over on kind of on those ideas and maybe ideas that we got. So.
Very cool.
All right, guys. Well, check us out next time. Remember, follow us on all social media. Send us emails, and we'll catch you next time here on the Worldview Bros. Hey, and to all those people out there who have given me horrible service and not friendly to me, I still love you. You're great. Okay. Okay.
All
See you
right.
guys.
See you guys. Bye.